I'm muted. Sorry.
I love your
Hello.
new screen. I love
What?
your new screen.
Yeah. I have a new green screen. Got it for Christmas. But I'm like green everywhere. You see that?
Yes, I do. I do.
It's okay. I just have to adjust everything. Everything went so quick. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Do I have to name everybody? It's like 250 in chat. Oh my God. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Dave and Dawn, as you guys wished, especially Dawn with his expertise. Hello. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and a good New Year. I certainly had a good New Year. Singing karaoke and stuff was really nice with my friends. Don't laugh. That's why I'm probably white as a ghost, because I slept 108 minutes today, as my watch says, and it's all Dave's fault. I put my alarm clock. Thank you, Nana, or Nana of 9. And
Yeah,
thank
that's
you. I
it.
saw 2-3 people joining as well. Thank you for that. Yeah, before we start, I just want to address Dave's live stream real quick. I'm 100% behind Dave. I'm 100% behind Dawn. I find it absolutely disgusting what's going on between creators. Like I said, I accept and I love to hear other people's opinions and views of things, but it has to be presented in a respectful manner. And if you it's pretty unprofessional if you start arguing with each other on a live stream. I think you should sort all that stuff out, all your problems out in private. We cannot all be of one opinion or have the same opinion all the time. But yeah, it has to do with being respectful to each other, right? I mean, I'm arguing with Dave and Dawn all the time. We disagree all the time. But, to sort things out in public is not how I roll. So from now on, having a new year, please do not send me any emails concerning other creators. Please do not send me any emails concerning any of my team members if you have nothing nice to say. I won't be answering. That's all I have to
Brilliant.
say.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I did not have much tolerance for bullshit on my channel before, and I have even less now. So if you don't bring anything to the table that benefits all of us, if you're trying to be rude or miserable or whatever, that's your problem. But this is not going to happen here. Yeah, that's end of rant. Hi, Cage. Thank you so much. I'm always having a little slight delay on StreamYard, as you guys know. But yeah, for everyone who put super chats or joint membership, thank you very much. And at the end of the live stream, I have a little announcement to make as well concerning future memberships. But yeah. Dave, do you have anything to say before I'm gonna start, or Dawn?
Just quickly, I just want to say thanks everybody for your support. Yesterday was a very difficult day. I do not want to go into it. It's on my channel. You can watch it after this if you like. Yesterday was a very difficult day. It had to be addressed, and I'm very sorry that there are people out there that feel the way they do, and they are as bitter as they are. It's very sad. There's on this side of the island, as I call it, we can all have our opinions, but just be respectful of each other. It's not very difficult. Seriously, it's not hard, honestly.
Mhm.
And if you haven't got anything nice to say, why
Don't
say
say
it?
nothing at all.
So, and over to you, Don.
Whatever happens, we're a team. We appreciate your support. And we think that we have the most intelligent subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely we do.
100%. Yeah, it's important to think for yourself and think out of the box. We're all no experts, and we learn as we go. And sometimes we might do a little mistake or make a little mistake, but we also learn as we go with that case. So thank you, Lucy. So yeah, I have a few new mods, including Adrian, and I can't even remember who I gave a wrench.
Super Sunshine Sue
Super Sunshine Sue.
got her
So
first ever
welcome
wrench.
to the inner circle of hell.
Lisa.
Lisa, yeah.
Lisa.
Aussie
And
girl Jen.
Aussie girl Jen.
Yep.
And between the two of us, I think we have fantastic moderators on
Oh
our
yeah,
channels.
definitely.
And they definitely know how to keep chat in line. But they are also very welcoming to everybody that enters chat for the very first time. We all like to get along in our chats, especially on our channels. We have one of the best chats that there is in this community. People can come in and have a very open mind and question and ask things. If you do it respectfully, absolutely no problems at all. But we won't tolerate on either channel any bullying or harassment of fellow chatters.
No,
It just will not be
definitely not.
accepted.
Thank you, Annette. And before I forget, I also received some emails. Why are you not replying to me? Why are you not replying to me? As you guys know, loads of things went on in my life during the last month. And I'm not lying, I'll show you right now. Do you guys see that? I have 483 unanswered emails since December the 3rd. And I just, I read emails, but then I simply don't get round to it to respond. And I gotta apologize for that. I'm working my way through. That was way more. And I already started from the bottom. So please bear with me if you're not getting an answer within like 2 minutes or 2 weeks. But I do not forget about you. And I appreciate all of your emails, obviously. So yeah, but sometimes life comes in the way, and long shifts, night shifts as well. So yeah, you got 1,000 unanswered emails. Yeah, but this is from YouTube only. So I separated all my other. I have more email accounts than one. So I separated that. So I at least get an overview of what I have to do. So yeah, but I'm on a week's holiday, so I should find the
I
time.
have 3,487 in one of my accounts.
I think you got a little work to do, my friend.
not associated with my channel, just the other one. All right, so but it's 61 associated with my channel. Oops.
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
echoing.
Yeah,
No,
it's okay.
lucky Lucy, my father-in-law couldn't come due to travel restrictions. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna turn my ugly face off for internet. It could be that I'm going to lose my internet connection at some point, like I did on the last live stream. But I'm gonna be working on it, and then I will be back like within a minute or so or two. All right, gonna share my screen with you guys. And let's get into this. So what we're gonna talk about today is a little bit, is a little bit about Vivint, and a little bit about motion detectors, and a little bit about garage door sensors and all that kind of stuff. Oops, I gotta put I'm so unprofessional.
That's
Sorry
another
about
statement. Tanya just explained her first lie, everybody, of 2022. She's
What?
the most professional person ever, not unprofessional.
No, I'm not. I'm a perfectionist, but I'm not professional. Far from it. Okay. So you totally put me out right now. So sensors and motion sensors in the What's house, according to Chris himself. The sensors are all garage doors, the door from the garage to the mudroom, the basement door, the back sliding door, the front door, no sensors on windows. Motion sensors, right-hand corner living room area. So when you walk in, as you can see here, the entrance door, the front door is right here. And when you look to your right in that little corner, here's one of the motion sensors. And in the basement, as you can see here, I I couldn't find it in the start, and then I gave up, and I was just saying, oh, it's got to be somewhere in this area. But when I was looking at the footage again today, I found it more or less by mistake. So here it is, right here. The entrance and access via key code to the garage door and to the front door. As we all know, the keypad on the garage door was broken, and it was broken for a long, long time. Vivint locks events or alerts when doors open, and Vivint locks another alert if doors are not closed within a certain time frame, which can be set on the Vivint control panel. So on his control panel, he can put, I want another alert or event to my phone after 5 minutes, after 3 minutes, after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes. He can do whatever he wants to do. His setup, and he's setting it up, and Vivint notifies him. Then Vivint also logs all motions as an event from the motion detectors. So Vivint does not only log the sensors, the actual door sensors, it also logs if somebody is walking through the living room, for example. So underneath you see a screenshot from the discovery. The Vivint security system also reported a living room motion sensor activation when she, meaning Shanann, entered the house, but no other activations were recorded until later that morning. As you can see here, just wanted to explain to you guys, for all of you who have not seen my previous videos, a router does not log Vivint activity, okay? So the router would not show us if a door was opened or a window or if a motion occurred in any way, shape, or form. The router only logs IP renewals or synchronizations, panel access, stuff like that. That's directly connected to the router. It does not log any activity or events. That's a separate system, and Vivint only records activity or events in their Vivint system. So as you can see here on the 12th of August at 4:46, this is the first IP renewal update or synchronization we have in his router logs. And I put update, synchronization, panel access, or IP renewal simply because I don't have August the 12th. As you can see here at 4:46 on the 12th, this was probably a synchronization or an update, or he accessed the panel on the 12th, right? Because some devices renew their IP address after, I think it's 12 or 15 hours, and some are renewing the IP after 24 hours. As you can see here on the 12th, same time, almost the same second, and this tells you right here and there, all the time, the same log. This was most definitely an IP renewal. So has nothing to do with him messing around with the Vivint system, just to make that clear. And the router does not log Vivint activities such as alerts or events. Yes, Dave?
Yes, just quickly, the one at the bottom there, I just want to let everybody know. For 2 years, for over 2 years, people were saying that Chris Watts left the house at 22:52 p.m. because there was a Vivint alert in the router. So what we are, this is on Sunday, where is it? On Sunday night, August the 12th, the second one down from the top, sorry. But as you can all see, every 24 hours there's an update. So it's actually the same time every day.
Yes.
There is an update that actually occurs with the Vivint system. So what we're looking at here is not Chris Watts walking out the door at 22:52 on Sunday night. It's
No,
actually
it's a
just an
simple IP
update.
renewal.
Correct. All right. So I just want to just make sure everybody is alert and aware of that. That is all.
Yeah. If you guys look into his router logs, you will see many devices that's basically nothing, like nothing of significance, because it's just an IP renewal, a synchronization, or any kind of that stuff. So, law enforcement knows Chris Watts' entire movement back to July and probably further back. As I was quickly running through the discovery today, I found that Watts watched the Independence Day fireworks with Nick and Amanda. That was July 4th. This is just an example that they do have all the data, right? In Thornton, he apparently stopped by their home afterwards, his phone connected to their router. So this tells us right here that they have all his data. They have all his movement, and they know exactly where he was and what he did. So here, item 41, his personal phone. 5680 is the timeline entry to 5681. This is when he logs in. One entry or two entries. And then he must have gone out or something. Then he logs back into. Then he must have went out again, or out of range could be also possible. And then he logs back in again. You see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times back and forth, he logs into their home router. So this is just an example, so you know they do have all the data. They're just not telling us. So remember what I told you in a previous live stream about the basement pictures Chris took. On July 15th at 12:36, Watts called Vivint and held a 20-minute conversation. He entered Vivint into his contacts following the call. A 20-minute conversation. That means at 12:56, he was with Vivint, still on the phone, and at 12:50, he's taken 3 images of his basement from different perspectives to capture the layout, while still on the phone with Vivint. 20-minute conversation. So the phone call ended at 12:56. That tells me something very interesting, right? I'm going to tell you in a second. Then a few hours later, Shanann called Watts and they held a 6-minute conversation, all fine. At 4:35, Watts took 3 more images of his basement from different perspectives. And then the technician is putting his bullshit in. I believe he was documenting the work he spent cleaning and organizing the basement. Blah, blah, blah. No, that had a different reason. I'll show you in a second. Same thing on July the 26th at 5:01. Immediately after talking to Shanann, he calls Vivint briefly. 15 minutes later, he calls Vivint a second time, and they are holding a 25-minute conversation. Then here again, July the 30th. At 5:14, Watts called Vivint and held a 10-minute conversation. Few minutes later, Shanann asked Watts what they, meaning Vivint, said. Although his call with Vivint ended nearly 30 minutes earlier, Watts responded he was still on the phone resetting settings and sensitivity. Should be good now. I will monitor it. Let's go back real quick. You guys, do you see what happens here? Shanann tells him, call Vivint because of that broken keypad on the garage door. They call it sensor, right? But I don't think Chris ever called Vivint because of the garage door. He called Vivint because of the basement. He wanted to see something in the basement, figure something out in the basement, maybe setting his or deactivating motion sensors, stuff like that. Because it's very, very, very weird that while he is on the phone with Vivint, and we know what he does in the discovery timeline-wise, he executes, right? While on the phone with Vivint, he takes images of his basement. Why would he do that? So what was on his mind? What did he talk about with the people from Vivint? So Chris called Vivint on 3 different dates. According to Frank Rusek's statement in the discovery, the garage door keypad was broken back when they had been living there. So why the urgency all of a sudden? Why did Shanann urge Chris to call Vivint before I flip, were her exact words, all of a sudden? It could, they were waiting for a year or so, and now all of a sudden call Vivint before I flip. Was she suspicious because she did not get any alerts of him leaving the house? And Nate is stating he left through the basement often because Nate saw him coming and going through that little side gate to the back, what leads to the backyard. I think, and that's my personal opinion, Chris calling Vivint had a different reason, and I believe I know why. This is what he says, right? The surveillance system is called Vivint, they spelled it wrong, and it is an app on their cell phones. The surveillance system uses Shanann's email, and I blacked that out, and password, I blacked that out as well. So Chris had no access to Vivint. Every change he would have made, or everything they would have made, remote controlling, some technicians, they can just log into your system and see what's wrong kind of stuff. So every change regarding the system would have sent a notification to Shanann's email. And this is why I believe he was not calling because of the garage door or the garage key lock panel thingy. He was calling them to get information about sensors, maybe motion sensors, in his basement. To me, it's obvious. What do you guys think?
Good afternoon, good morning, everybody who is just joining the show. Tanya's created an observation here for people. And I just think that people need to open their minds and think for themselves. Okay. Shanann rings Chris. Chris acts on Shanann's call. Shanann calls Chris back after he's done everything with the basement. They hold a conversation.
That was 3 different dates. So before
Yes.
she said to him, call Vivint before I flip, he already contacted them twice on different dates.
Correct.
So he had no access.
What's the urgency,
he had no
everybody?
access to Vivint because everything was running on her email. So
Correct.
if he would have had made any changes or, messing with the system, Vivint would have sent an email to Shanann and she would have known. So my guess is there were no alerts coming anymore. And she was thinking probably, why don't I see him entering or leaving or whatever? So she probably, and this is my own theory, she probably asked him what's going on with the sensors. I don't see you leaving or coming anymore. Right? And then he
Absolutely.
says, the sensor, they're going to send a new sensor, which they never did because he never spoke to them about the sensor. The sensor was fine. He was talking to them about something concerning his basement, in my opinion. Well, I mean, we have it in black and white, so put one and one together and connect the dots.
Correct. And people in chat are, because you did ask, what do they think? And some people's responses are quite interesting. Mischievous imp, they know there is a threat, so they are taking steps to protect themselves, to record any potential intruders, possibly. Suspicion or fear, some writing.
His garage door sensors were working fine because they have all the Vivint logs.
And I'd just like to add, everybody, we have been given definitive proof, and we can show you as well throughout this live stream. The main garage doors had sensors.
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to let everybody know, and because that was also a question that's been posed privately between us and people we're communicating with, and yeah, it's an absolute definite. Every garage door had a sensor.
Mm-hmm. And if they say in the discovery alert, they mean event or notification. So then I put together a little timeline so it gets a little bit clearer on what could have happened. And this is Sunday night to Monday. So at 9 p.m. Sunday night, his personal phone locks in the router. I did not include the screenshots of the router anymore, but you guys feel free to pull that up in the discovery. At 9:28, the call between NK and Chris starts. At 9:37, headlights arriving or leaving, we don't know, of a vehicle captured on Nate's camera. 8 minutes later, also headlights of a vehicle. This could be the one arriving or whatever on 9:37. We don't know because we only have still shots. Captured on Nate's camera. 11:19, the call between the two ends. A minute later, his phone logs into the router at his house. Then another minute later, he texts Shanann after he missed her text of her saying my plane is delayed. And he's saying, oh, that's gonna be late. I passed out on the couch or whatever he says. At 11:25, another time headlights of a car captured on its camera. At
12:47.
12:47, sorry, Alexa triggered. At 1:11, his personal phone logs in the router. Same thing at 1:32. So I'm guessing he was out of the house or out of range sometime between 1:11 and 1:32, because this is when he logs back in. Then he's out of range or out of the house for another 3 minutes, because at 1:35 he logs back in. His phone logs back into the router for connection. And this, you guys, is the last time his phone connects to his home router until he gets home the next day at 2:07 p.m. The last time. Now you guys see how that all connects together, right? When I was saying I don't believe that he had his personal phone on him out at Serbi. Then at 1:25 was that should have been moved up. Last outgoing message from Shanann's phone She told Cassie that they had landed. At 1:30 a.m., a suspicious acting white SUV was seen by a witness on Highway 52 near Anderson Farm, and that's behind Chris Watts's house, about a 5-minute drive. There is no direct road to Anderson Farm, so it would be very much closer. If you just drive through the field, you would probably be there in like 30 seconds, but you have to take other roads to get there. So that's roughly a 5 to 6 minute drive. And that witness was never followed up on. Then at 1:48, Vivint locks Shanann coming home. At the same time, Vivint locks a motion in the living room. So she's walking in the door, and the motion detector we saw in the right-hand corner immediately picks up her motion. At 1:51, Shanann's phone was turned off.
Can I just quickly add something? There was no delay with the sensor detecting Shanann walking in the door. So I just thought I'd just add that in. Thank you.
No, there's no delay. It's double as far as I search for the system and stuff. There are basically double notifications. As I said previously, you can set that in your panel, in your Vivint panel. When do you want to get another notification? Let's say 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, you can set that. And yeah, it's not a delay as such. These are screenshots from the discovery. Upon reviewing the Watts Vivint home security data I obtained by a legal warrant, so they do have all Vivint, everything from Vivint they have. I observed via the doorbell camera recording Shanann walk from the street to her front door at 1:48 hours. The Vivint security system also reported a living room motion sensor activation when she entered the house, but no other activations were recorded until later that morning. Underneath the same thing, Watt's phone logged the Vivint alert of Shanann's entry into their home. At that same moment, the Vivint video monitor captured Shanann as she walked up to the home and entered. Udoft, Atkinson, was captured backing out of the driveway. Then we have a little misleading statement from the so-called technician. He's saying at 2:18, the home's router logged an unspecified activity in Watt's phone. The router cannot log an activity in somebody's phone. The router only can log in. Like when you walk in, you connect to the home network, and this is what the router can log. The router cannot log any activity or what you're doing on your phone. It's not possible. There is no unspecified activity on Chris's phone that the router logged. It should have said there was an unspecified activity logged in Chris Watts's personal phone. And I find that misleading because if somebody is reading that who has no understanding of how all that stuff works, they would think, oh, at 2:18 he was definitely at home doing something because his router locked him in, right? But we don't know if he was at home at 2:18. There's no proof. Between 1:48 and 4:23, there was no movement detected on the main floor of the home. So at 4:23 a.m., the first movement recorded by Vivint was the basement door opens, according to Tommy Lee. So I'm asking you guys, if Chris Watts was upstairs having all this argument, killing Shanann, killing the girls, or whatever he did, wrapping her up and doing all that stuff. Vivint would have recorded motion as he was coming down the stairs. Therefore, I assume he was coming from the basement. If he was upstairs, coming down, if he killed her upstairs, coming down, or the children coming down, Vivint would have locked a motion activation, but it didn't. The first ever recorded Vivint alert was the basement door opening at 4:23 a.m. So from 1:48 to 4:23, there was no movement whatsoever on the main floor.
Can I quickly just add something? I just want to just quickly say to that, they emphasize here that there was no motion detected on the main floor. There was no movement detected on the main floor.
That's what I just said.
They do not say whether there was motion detected in the basement. They only emphasize the main floor.
So a little summary. At 1:48 a.m., Vivint locks the motion in the living room. So she's basically coming home, walks past the motion detector in the right-hand corner. At 2:18, an unspecified activity on Chris Watts' personal phone. And I gotta ask, because that was so misleading what the technician said, right? So I asked myself, was he even in the house? Misleading statement here again, made by the technician trying to make us believe his router locked activity on his phone, when in fact his phone last logged into the router by 1:35 a.m. and then again at 2:07 p.m. when he came home the next day or that afternoon. So where was his personal phone? Because he does not have any logs of his personal phone when he's walking in and out of the garage either. The only phone that logs in and out is his work phone. So where was his phone from 1:35 a.m. in the morning till 9:30 a.m. at Serby? Where was it? Was he even at home? So no activity, no motion on the main floor. 4:23 a.m. basement door opens. How did he get to the basement without activating the motion sensor in the living room as he was coming downstairs?
Bingo.
Was he flying down there? And Catherine C., I hope you're in here, because this was absolutely brilliant what you detected. We're going to look at the missing window screens captured on body cam by my moderator, Catherine C. So as you can see here, this is the window leading to the little side gate where Nate stated he saw him coming and going all the time. And those screens are missing. So Nate stated that he saw Chris coming out of the side gate when leaving and going back through the side gate when coming back often. Was he going through the window that night straight, sorry, I misspelled that, up to the main floor? Is that why Vivint did not log any event before 4:23 a.m. when he opened the basement door? And this is what Catherine found. She found the missing screens right behind the stairs. Here they are. Here's the motion detector. Here are the missing screens. And this window has no screens on it. So thank you very much, Catherine, for that. So I do believe that Chris Watts was not in the house. I do believe they overwhelmed Shanann, and I do say they on purpose. They overwhelmed Shanann probably somewhere in the basement. And he came back through the basement window, not to be seen, and went upstairs when everybody was already gone. This is what I think happened. So near the motion sensor by the stairs was also where Jane's dog hid. This is Jane and her dog right at that minute where he hit a little bit. Here's the motion sensor, and this is the area where the dog hit. Weird how it all comes together somehow. So, to summarize everything, law enforcement knows every move. Like Dave said, they know. They do know. They know. Vivint logs every motion sensor, every motion in the basement and in the house. And if you leave the basement and come back, obviously the motion sensor logs another event. They had all the Vivint information, so they can tell you 100% who was in the basement when there was somebody in the basement, right? But they won't tell us. The Vivint logs were not published for a reason. They know what went on in the basement. None of the Vivint events from the basement were made public. Chris knows as well. You know, meaning Chris, they know, everybody knows, except the public. Big, massive cover-up. And then I also came across something I have no opinion about, but I just want to show you guys anyway. And it's food for thought, because we know that Chris told us the alarm was not set in the house. Right, Dave?
100% correct.
So now, these are the messages that came through on Shanann's phone. And I put a red line underneath. And Nicole Atkinson, her friend, sends her a message saying, I have been to your house. You won't open your door. Your alarm is set. Your shoes are sitting inside your car's home. I am so very concerned about you right now. I need you to text me or call me and just tell me, okay. If you don't want to talk to nobody, you don't want to be around nobody, I get it, it's fine, but I need to know you're okay. And like I said, I have no opinion about this. At the moment, I came across this last minute, and I just wanted to show you. I did not include all the alerts Chris received when he was out at Survey from his door and whatnot. But we do know the alarm was not set, because otherwise the alarm would have went off, right?
Because she opened the door, everybody,
She
3
opened the
inches
front
to the
door.
latch.
She opened the front door, no alert, unless they have silent alerts. And also the garage door opens. It actually gives an alert or a notification or logs an event, so to speak, that the garage door opens at 12:42. It's in the discovery. Just type in the search bar, garage, and it will come up. Some homework for you guys to do.
But we also know, just quickly, I am going to quickly just touch on the 360 app, just quickly, just for 1 second, because this is something else for another time. Nicole Atkinson left at 12:47. The garage door, there was activity at 12:42.
Not only activity, the garage door opened.
Opened. Because there are sensors on the actual garage door. That we have had 100% confirmed.
Which is called, just a second, the brown garage doors are called
Correct.
door 2.
Correct.
Then
Overhead
there's
garage
door 1,
doors
that's
is
the
what Chris
little
calls
door.
them.
Then there's door 1, that's the little one.
Yes.
And there's door 3, that's the entrance from the garage to that little mudroom where Dita was held.
Correct.
So they're all numbered. And it said in the discovery, garage door number 2 alerted, the big one, at 12:42.
So all we're doing, everybody, is asking questions, and we want you to think about it because we cannot come to a conclusion of that because we were not there.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit. I mean, I'm sick of walking on eggshells around people. It just does not fit.
Correct.
It doesn't fit. Garage door opens. She's saying your alarm was set. She opens the front door. The hatch prevented her from entering. Okay. She's leaving at 12:47. We saw that on Nate's footage, right? So
Correct.
who opened that door? And why don't we see it on Nate's footage?
Why don't we get the basement activity?
Exactly. We only have breadcrumbs, like Don used to say. But we have massive ones. And I don't think they would have ever thought that somebody's digging in that deep. Because if there was no activity on the main floor between 1:48 when Shanann got home and 4:23, how did he fly down the stairs? No,
Yep.
I think he was not in that house. I think they brought Shanann out of that house. Maybe through the kitchen or back door, who knows? I don't know the exact range of these motion detectors, but it would have definitely picked you up when you come down the stairs. Definitely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, where it's located, as you come down the stairs, you're facing them.
So how's that working? How the hell is that working?
Yep.
I believe he left, probably maybe through the back door. That's why we don't see any Vivint concerning the back door. He was out somewhere, took them somewhere, or they took them somewhere. He went back home at 4:23 through that window, went upstairs, opened the basement door, and this is when we have the alert at 4:23.
How does the basement door get opened if there's no activity on the main floor? This is what everybody needs to realize. You can't walk from the main floor in the house to the basement door and open it without the activity on the motion sensor in the lounge room. Because the door to the basement is near the stairs. And where the stairs are located is actually facing that sensor. Like they're facing the sensor.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's no way to go from the main floor, everyone, to the basement without a motion, right?
And
but
that's
the first, sorry, yep.
No, okay, you knock yourself out talking.
The first activity at 4:26 a.m. is the basement door opening from the basement. Everyone, from the basement. And we have shown you
it must have opened from inside the basement.
Correct. Right. So what we showed you is a motion sensor, okay, in the corner on that timber, attached to the stairs, of that actual motion detector that's actually in the basement that Tanya searched long and hard for, and she finally found it. There it is. There it is, everybody, the bottom of your screen. The white thing in the joins in the timber of the stairs. Okay, that there is your motion detector. Okay, that is what we are missing in the discovery. And that motion detector is facing the Mickey Mouse window. So you people go and think long and hard. How does that basement door get opened if there is no activity on the main floor of the house?
Yeah.
Which means everything occurred in the basement, no matter what.
Right. So, as I said previously, this makes sense now, doesn't it? He's calling Vivint. While with Vivint on the phone, he's taking 3 images of his basement from different perspectives to capture the layout. Few hours later, he does the same thing, and that friggin' technician saying, "Oh, I believe he was documenting the work he spent cleaning." No, he wasn't. There was something going on, and they planned this because everything had to have happened in that basement because he had no access to Vivint as such, because Shanann would have been immediately alerted of everything he does.
You can't disable it because Shanann would know.
Right? Everything goes through her email address. Everything. So what does he do? He's calling Vivint asking, "Oh, I have a problem, blah, blah. How do I do this and that in my basement? And something's up with my basement or the motion sensors or whatnot." He's asking them 20 minutes on 3 different occasions. So July the 15th, right? July the 26th, and on July the 30th. Same thing.
Shanann was in North Carolina, everybody, instructing Chris to ring Vivint. And this is the day before, everybody, that Chris Watts flew to North Carolina. And we all know where he was on the 30th. He wasn't at home.
Weird, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And after that live stream, I might be uploading a little 2-minute video where I have some other discovery I made today while looking for all this
Oh my goodness.
data stuff. What's wrong, Dave?
What you discovered this morning puts a whole new light
Thank
on
you,
a lot
all
of
that
things.
glitters.
Okay?
Thank you for
It
all the
puts
super chats, guys. I missed.
this is quite ridiculous what TJ is going to present to you guys. It's unbelievable. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I should do it now and upload it anyway. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? Do
How
you want
many
to
are
see it?
watching?
I don't see how many are watching. 200 something? No? Ooh,
465.
okay, I was
So
off, way off.
I think you should present it.
Do it, do it, do it or
Do
not.
it.
All right, because I love you so much.
Now, everybody needs to remember there's questions that I had asked, and there are questions that I actually had answered. Okay? And this is through the mouth of Chris. The answer came back from Chris. Okay? So that is something I need to definitely 100% confirm with everybody. And this is without us knowing what TJ just found.
Mm-hmm. All right, hold on. Let me pull that up. Where is it? Hold on, I gotta pull that up real quick. Just give me 1 minute. Why are you all so quiet? I'm not used to
No.
you
They're
guys being
looking at.
quiet.
I'm looking at chat, and they're all going, "Do it. We're teasers. We're this. We're that." We're hey, chat. Do we believe anything Chris says? Well, in most instances, no. But there are things he actually says that I don't think he realizes telling the truth will actually have such big ramifications. And by
Exactly.
telling the truth to this particular question that was asked, when he didn't tell the truth to many questions that were asked to him, makes me wonder and think seriously about the answer that he gave to this particular question. And it is so huge, the answer that he gave, all around this finding today. And when TJ showed me, I don't think she realizes how excited I got. I'm going to jump off the balcony. I was so excited. I was jumping
Yeah,
up and
don't
down,
over exaggerate it. It's just a little thing.
but it's very big in relation to the answer that I
Okay, I'll show
received.
you now.
Oh, okay. Somebody said they're driving and they voted yes, but they've just crashed their car. I'm joking.
What?
I hope it's worth it.
Thanks for
The person
joining,
said.
Laura.
Here we go.
Okay,
Here we go, everyone.
so this is Chris, obviously. This is Baumhofer. Shanann's handbag. This is Monday. What you see is this ugly, weird flower on the kitchen counter. You with me? You with me? You with me? Then, after that scenario where Coonrod is on the phone with Sandra Rosak, police go in to the front door, and I'm not putting up any body cams anymore because I'm sick of this lasso group bullshit. So I explain it to you guys. They go in front of the door, and outside you will see Nate and N.A. talking, in front of the garage. And for 9 minutes, Chris is in the house alone. 9 minutes later, that cooler appears. And I showed that previously in the timeline video too. But then I was watching the body cam footage of Jane and the dog search. And I was looking for these motion sensors where they had been located. And I discovered this. Fasten your seatbelts. You ready? You ready? On Tuesday, you see Jane, Tuesday, the cooler, and a ready packed backpack. Ready to go on the side of this, what I think is supposed to be a little dining room area.
It's ready to be picked up, walking out of the kitchen, everyone. Pick up and walk over to the garage.
Yeah.
And load into
I'm getting to that,
Lexus.
Dave. So this is the cooler on Monday. And it's actually a Coleman cooler, and they come in different sizes. And on top of that cooler, you can put like cups or cutlery or whatever in them, right? And they also come with an additional lid that you can, as you can see here, this is a smaller version, but I couldn't find a picture of that cooler with that lid on, but you can purchase them. So there's an additional lid on top of that as well. It's a camping cooler. So this is the cooler without the lid on. And here you see that cooler with the lid on. It looks kind of like that. Like I said, this is not the exact same cooler. I just was looking for a picture to show you how it looks like with that little lid on. And they come in different sizes, like 1 gallon, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So all kind of sizes you want. So what does this cooler do in the corner? Ready to go? And a backpack, right? So this is what the discovery states. A short time later, when Chris was under surveillance on Tuesday, Commander Egan received information that a uniformed officer in the neighborhood observed Chris packing up what appeared to be blankets and a cooler inside the white Lexus in the garage. Backpack and cooler ready to go to the fields. Kids alive, held somewhere. What do you guys think? That cooler and backpack also was never recovered.
Of course it wouldn't be.
And this is the question we ask to forward to Chris. Why did you load blankets and a cooler into the Lexus? And this were Chris's exact words. I wanted to go bring it out to the site to see the girls. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
So, everybody, think about that for a second. That was the answer that he gave.
Yep.
That was the answer he gave. And nearly everything else, a lot of the questions that were asked were, I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember that. I don't remember this. I don't remember that. But he mentioned this 3 times.
Yeah.
This exact thing 3
And he never
times.
changed what he said. If you ask him now, he will tell you the same thing.
So, he got in the Lexus, everybody, and started driving. And we all know this. And at the time he was in the Lexus, he got a phone call. Chris, can you please come and see us at Frederick Police Department? FBI agent Conan would like to have a talk to you. Chris turns around, goes to Frederick Police Department and gets interviewed from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. We all know that. We've all seen the interrogation video. Okay, so sometime after 6 p.m. and before 8 p.m., Chris Watts left his home. Okay, everybody? And he was heading out to the site.
Yeah.
The next
And
day...
to say something real quick, to be fair, the officer who's watched Chris that day later states in the discovery also that he drove with the Lexus. He parked his work truck a little bit further down the street. So what he did was he took the Lexus, drove to his work truck, and started reloading his work truck. The forensic guy did take a cooler into evidence, but we don't know if that was this cooler or just the cooler or water jug Chris took to work. And this is why I think he wanted to go to work so bad,
Yep.
So he
Penny
loaded
wrote the
that
comment.
stuff in the white Lexus, drove with the white Lexus a little bit further down the road and started to unload and reload stuff from the Lexus into his work truck and vice versa. But yeah, we will probably never know because they don't give you a color, they don't give you a make, they don't give you anything. We know now that it was a Coleman cooler and they come in all different sizes and with lid, without lid, stuff like that. So it could be that he, and I'm talking, just brain farting, could be that he put that cooler and the blankets into his work truck. Possible.
Penny
Thank you,
just wrote.
Mark.
Penny just wrote the. Penny wrote it. Everybody, I really want you to see it. Chris actually stated, "You did not let me save my family."
I could not save my kids, yeah, right?
Right. So Tuesday night, that's where he was heading, in my opinion, based on information we've received. That's all I can say.
Yep. Thank you, Sherlock.
May I make a few observations?
Of course.
First of all, I would like to make a small correction. I think it is 1 hour and 9 minutes after Baumhofer is leaving the house when the cooler appears on the kitchen table, not 9 minutes, just to be precise.
Hold on, let me recheck.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you,
Yes,
Jeanette.
you're right. You are right, Dawn. You've got an eagle eye. Yeah, 1 hour and 9 minutes until they got back into the house with the body cam. Yeah, you're correct. So it's not 9 minutes, guys. It's 1 hour and 9 minutes.
I took some notes while you were presenting, and I would like to share with you. First of all, about the Vivint system and the Vivint logs. As Tanya said, we might not have the entire log from the Vivint control panel. I think that somebody filtered the events to force a narrative. Sadly, you need a lot of knowledge to fool intelligent people. From what I've seen, the Colorado law enforcement and prosecution are not the brightest. Now, about the garage sensors, it would be not logical to leave the garage doors without sensors. After all, people have cars and other valuable stuff in the garage. About the remote key that deactivates the security system of the house. We saw that when Chris came home, he deactivated the system using that remote. The signal from it is picked up by the control panel inside the house. So the owner does not have to punch in any password for deactivation. Something else. If somebody is pushing hard the garage doors, an open door alert could be issued. Moreover, if someone is entering a wrong access password using the outside garage keypad, again, an alert could be issued. About Shannon's access to the system. Any security system has a so-called master password used initially by the company that installs the system. Afterwards, the master password is changed by the owner of the house. From then on, the owner has total control over the settings of the system, including notifications for tampering with the sensors or any attempts to change the master password by a third party. That's it.
Thank you so much, Dawn. So what's basically could have happened is if she really hard trying to open the garage door, it could have issued an alert, right?
Yes, it all depends where the sensors are placed. For instance, if they are placed close to the floor and somebody enters, pushes in let's say a steel rod, trying to push up the garage door, I'm more certain that an open door alert would be issued.
Yeah. Frognado, no, she could not see what was going on in her house. They did not have any cameras, but she could have, she had access to Vivint obviously as well, same as Chris, and she would have gotten all the notifications Chris had. So she would have known if there's a door opened, when he came home, when he left, stuff like that. And yeah, the railroad we already found with that yellow line on the map. They did not give us details on his geotab, but we're gonna do a live on that as well because Don has some very good observations he made regarding shipping containers and stuff. So yeah. Where's the Kula? Tiger Girl probably still in evidence. I don't know. We don't know if that's the Kula he took out of the work truck. Okay, I have a little surprise. Dawn is gonna enlighten us with a little presentation, and I'm
Yes.
so looking forward to it. So I'm just gonna mute myself and let you do the good stuff.
Okay. I'll try to answer to a critical question. Why are we so dissatisfied by the outcome of the Watts case? Because we should be happy that a dangerous killer is behind bars for life and justice was served. Yet something weird happens when we read in detail what happened in that case. First, we were skeptic, then we were curious, and finally we got angry, because any normal person that is a law-abiding citizen has all the right to feel like that when justice is flawed. A quick note, this is not a plea for Chris's innocence, but a cold analysis of the American justice system. And now I will share my screen.
I have nothing.
No, just a second. Can you fill in while I do it?
Yeah, sure. You don't feel like he's a killer. I understand it isn't a popular opinion. I do think he protected his family, though. He didn't protect his family. Yeah. I mean, there were opportunities, we just could have stopped it, but yeah. Thank you, Lady Sarah. Yeah, I think he did all that, that's the reason why he wanted to go to work so bad. I can actually show you real quick, if I find it real quick until Donna's ready, that little yellow line I discovered recently. Just one sec. So we know there was something going on at the dumping site. We just have to figure out all these details. Just let me see real quick where it was. Was that timeline part 2, or what, do you guys remember when that was?
Which one exactly?
Oh, I have it. I'm fast. Hold on. I just wanted to show people those two little, or this little circle. Do you guys see that? These are actually is that it, or is, yeah, that's it.
Yes, that's it.
So we what I did was comparing where he was following those lines, and they don't give us a stop, or they don't give us any details on where he went. So according to the, was it here? No. But according to Google Maps, he went to a dump site. And this is where I believe might have been where the bodies were held. You see that? So this is Serby right here. So what was he doing here?
1029.
1029, right? This is 1029. So he is going around somewhere.
Inspecting. He didn't stop, everybody. He could have driven very slowly, but he did not stop at all.
Yeah. And also, I believe that happened before 9 a.m. As you can see here, this is the Survey 319, 1029, and you can still see his tire tracks leading into the field, right? Maybe I can get this to work. This is the little video. That's 1029.
Mm-hmm.
And they go around the corner, and then they friggin' walk through basically evidence. See his tire tracks here? And the weird thing is, none of his co-workers mentioned that he was gone, like that he drove off. You see that?
Correct.
Leading right into that field. And over there is that dumping ground. So you actually see the tire tracks going into the field and coming out of the field. So he circled right here. Whatever he was doing, it's all leading to that dump site with all the shipping containers and old steel and wood and whatnot. Yeah.
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. Okay.
Can we see it?
Yes, perfect. I'm gonna mute myself and go get a glass of water real quick.
I'm also muted.
As you can see, my presentation, it is titled Plea Bargaining, Floor Justice, the Bigger Picture. This is a motto I borrowed from a well-known TV station. I don't have copyright on it, but I feel it is quite suitable for us, for any citizen, if I may. As you know, all that Dave is doing lately, and in fact all the time, is to ask questions. And you, the subscribers, as citizens also, have all the right to demand answers. Not from us, but from your government. This presentation is a critique about the plea bargaining First of all, let's see a short definition. A plea bargain is an agreement between a defendant and a prosecutor in which the defendant agrees to plead guilty or no contest, or in Latin, nolo contendere, in exchange for an agreement by the prosecutor to drop one or more charges, reduce a charge to a less serious offense, or recommend to the judge a specific sentence acceptable to the defense. When the state has a strong case, the state may offer the defendant a plea deal to avoid trial and perhaps reduce his exposure to a more lengthy sentence. Please bear with me. Maybe I'm telling right now simple things, but I promise you that in the end will be interesting. So, when it is applicable, a plea bargain. As you can see, a defendant may only plead guilty if they actually committed the crime and admits to doing so in open court. There is a reason that I highlighted that portion, because as we know, it is not physically possible that what Chris accepted he did, it is physically impossible to be like he said. In other words, in my opinion, there is not enough. There are not enough conditions for a plea bargain to be allowed in justice. And we'll see why he did it, why he, let's say, acknowledged that he did all those horrible things. Okay, his sentence and so on. Okay. Now, the outcome, as you know, if the defendant pleads guilty, there is no trial, but the next step is to prepare for a sentencing hearing. Next. There are two types of plea bargaining, and they are sentence bargaining and charge bargaining. The difference is the following. Sentence bargaining is a method of plea bargaining in which the prosecutor agrees to recommend a lighter sentence for specific charges if the defendant pleads guilty or no contest to them. While charge bargaining is a method where prosecutors agree to drop some charges or reduce a charge to a less serious offense in exchange for a plea by the defendant. Okay. I think I missed something. Okay. It should be when a plea bargains can be negotiated. From my understanding, in most jurisdictions and courthouses, plea bargaining can take place at virtually any stage in the criminal justice process. Plea deals can be struck shortly after the defendant is arrested and before the prosecutor files criminal charges. Plea negotiations may culminate in a deal as a jury returns to a courtroom to announce its verdict. If a trial results in a hung jury, in which the jurors are split and cannot make the unanimous decision required, the prosecution and defense can, and frequently do, negotiate a plea rather than go through another trial. And plea deals are sometimes reached after a defendant is convicted while a case is on appeal. Okay. The big questions. Why the legislator considered it is useful to insert this kind of process? First of all, because we all know that it takes a lot of time and money to defend yourself in a trial, while existing a risk of harsher punishment. And some people would like to avoid any publicity. The second reason is that money and time are saved by the state. Both sides are spared by the uncertainty of going to trial. We all know that prosecution has a very difficult task to convince a jury that the defendant is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And also, we all know that the court system is very busy, and as I said, the legislator considered that a considerable burden of conducting the trial could be lifted by using this kind of process, the plea bargain. Okay. This is an observation that I made that could have some implications with the civil court that followed the penal process. It depends if what's pleaded no contest or guilty as charged. Because in a no contest plea, he basically said, I don't choose to contest the charges. That results in a criminal conviction, just like any other guilty plea. And the sentence will show up in his criminal record. However, like you see, if the victim later sues the defendant in civil court, the no contest plea cannot be offered as evidence against the defendant, as an admission of guilt. In other words, it's like he is totally innocent in that civil case. While a guilty plea, on the other hand, can serve and does serve as an admission of guilt and can be introduced in civil cases as evidence against the defendant. This is something that I worked a lot on. I tried to condense the American criminal justice system in a diagram. I hope it will be easy to understand. There are several, let's say, stages, and I show them on the left in orange. There are 5 stages. Oops. First of all is the entry into the system. A crime is committed, it is reported, and an investigation follows. I would invite you to make a parallel with Watt's case to understand when things went south. So after an investigation there is the possibility that the case is declared unsolved or the suspect is not arrested, as you can see. If it is arrested, there is also the possibility to be released without prosecution. But usually the booking phase follows, meaning, all personal data is recorded, like fingerprints, name, date of birth, and so on. Yet there is still the possibility to be released without prosecution after booking. After that, the second stage follows. It is the prosecution and pre-trial services, called, in which there is an initial appearance in front of a judge. The judge decides if we're having to, if there is a petty offense or something more serious. In case that something more serious was committed, there is a preliminary hearing in front of the court. But as you can see, in any moment, charges could be dropped or dismissed. Then the judge puts a bail for the defendant or decides to follow detention. And in this moment, the things are separated in felonies and misdemeanors. The felonies, of course, are the much harsher ones, and misdemeanors are easier. In both cases, there are pre-trial activities. I looked very close at this phase because it is more or less the continuation of the investigation phase in these pre-trial activities. Think for a little while if the Frederick Police or the DA office did what they should have done. It is possible that after this phase, again, charges can be dismissed or a reduction of charge take place, in which case the felony becomes a misdemeanor and it follows a trial. But we're more interested in this area in which, as we know, a guilty plea or a trial can follow. I will insist at the end about the guilty plea. For now, I will just finish explaining the diagram. So in case of a trial, the defendant can be acquitted or can be sentenced. He has the possibility of appeal. He has also the possibility of probation, which can be revoked, in which case he goes to the penitentiary. If the sentencing has the possibility of parole, the defendant can be released and goes out the system. If the parole is revoked, he goes back to the penitentiary. There is also the possibility, in case of a probation, that the felon is pardoned and clemency is applied to him, in which case he goes out the system. But usually the most usual path is sentencing, penitentiary, and after serving the time, he goes out the system. There are some special cases while he is in the penitentiary, meaning that there is the possibility of habeas corpus. In Latin means show me the body, in which what does it mean? If there is no enough evidence, like physically there is no body found, or there is not enough evidence to support the incarceration, then the defendant can be released by this process. He can be released also by the process of pardon and clemency, or in some states, the capital punishment can be applied. Okay, what I didn't mention was that the guilty plea and the trial phase is called adjudication. The part with sentencing is the sentencing and sanctions phase. And when the felon goes to prison, it is the corrections phase. On the misdemeanor and petty offenses, the things are similar. And I think I covered everything. Of course, there is a lot more to tell you about, but I will not bore you right now. What I would like to insist on is a critic to the plea bargaining process. So, from what we've seen, the American prosecutors are equipped with a fearsome array of tools they can and do use to discourage people from exercising their right to a jury trial. As we know, if pressure was not inflicted on Chris, it was most probable that he would go to a trial. But this is America. As we know, America is the most prosperous country in history of the world. It excels at innovation and mass production, and nowhere is that more true today than its criminal justice system, which features a streamlined process for transforming millions of suspects into convicted criminals quickly, efficiently, and without the hassle of a constitutionally prescribed jury trial. Of course, I'm sarcastic, but this is the reality. This process, I call it coercive plea bargaining, and it's the secret ingredient that maintains the world's highest incarceration rate. So this is the coercive part, and I will like to explain what is the magnitude of this problem. I found out that according to a study based on roughly 80,000 federal prosecutions initiated in 2018, the year when Watts was sentenced, just 2% went to trial. Can you imagine that? 2% went to trial. What we see on the television or on the internet, those cases, those trials, they are 2% of the entire cases. More than 97% of federal criminal convictions are obtained through plea bargains. That begs a question. Why are people so eager to confess their guilt instead of challenging the government to prove their guilt beyond a reasonable doubt to the satisfaction of an unanimous jury? The answer is very simple and very stark. They are being coerced or forced, and though physical torture remains off limits, except maybe in Guantanamo prison, the American prosecutors can extract confessions and discourage people from exercising their right to a jury trial. What are those tools? One of them is charge stacking, meaning they could charge more serious crimes than the conduct the felon really merits. The other tool, they have legislatively ordered mandatory minimum sentences. Another possibility, they can impose a pre-trial detention with an unaffordable bail. There are also threats to investigate and indict friends or family members. Does it sound familiar? And there is also the so-called trial penalty, meaning a substantial difference between the sentence offered prior to trial versus the sentence a defendant receives after a trial. In other words, initially the defendant was tried for a shorter sentence, but just because he or she decided to apply for a trial, he or she is punished by receiving a longer sentence. Now, there are other problems which are particularly concerning. First of all, you can see here the false convictions. Though it was once believed that a confession in open court or a guilty plea was proof positive of a person's guilt, we now know that simply isn't true. Indeed, of the more than 300 people definitely exonerated by the Innocence Project using DNA evidence, and according to the National Registry of Exonerations, some 20% pleaded guilty to crimes they did not commit since 1989. So it is clear that innocent people are routinely coerced into pleading guilty to crimes they did not commit. Yet, despite the mounting evidence, the US Supreme Court has firmly refused to regulate the line between permissible methods of action and unconstitutional coercion. The other big problem with coercive plea bargaining is that it helps cover up an untold amount of prosecutorial misconduct. Are you listening, Mr. Rourke? Even in the federal system, where prosecutors are held to a relatively higher standard, there has been a surprising amount of misconduct in the handful of cases that end up going to trial. And I have a few examples. People from the United States might know them better. The most notorious example is the failed 2008 prosecution of then Senator of Alaska, Ted Stevens, who, after refusing a one-count guilty plea to one felony charge with no jail time, was indicted on 7 counts of failing to report gifts on his financial disclosure forms after he allegedly was paying an insufficient amount for the renovation of his house in Alaska. From my understanding, after the jury voted to convict, but before Stevens was sentenced, the star witness against him retracted part of his testimony in a letter, and an FBI whistleblower disclosed a pattern of deliberate, systematic cheating by prosecutors that has since been documented in a 500-page document called the Schulke Report. The Justice Department then asked the judge to dismiss the indictment based on the fact that the prosecution concealed favorable evidence. To me, that looks quite familiar, as I said. Had Stevens taken the plea, none of the prosecutorial misconduct or exculpatory evidence in this case might ever have been revealed. There are also many other cases, like the case of Nevada rancher Cliven Bundy, or the Noor Salman case from the Orlando nightclub shooter Omar Martin. In what case the plea deal, as you might know, contains paragraphs stating that evidence will be destroyed after a certain amount of time. That is, I've never heard of such possibility. Also, it states that what cannot appeal on topics the judge asked him about, such as ineffective defense counsel. Very nice. And the third problem is the cost of a trial. In order to get a solid defense team, a defendant has to have access to vast financial resources. Ordinary people like us usually don't have that amount of money unless a good lawyer takes the case pro bono. Now, defenders of the status quo claim that prosecutors rarely commit misconduct. But how can we possibly know that? When only 2% of federal prosecutions go to trial, it is impossible to say how many would blow up as spectacularly as the Stevens or Bundy cases if every one of them went to trial against zealous and adequately resourced defense counsel. The Watts case is emblematic. A bunch of crooks are hiding behind an abusive law. There are states in the United States where it is forbidden to accept a plea deal when murders are committed. And in the end, my conclusion is as follows. The framers of the United States Constitution put citizen participation at the very heart of the criminal justice system, in the form of jury trials. With coercive plea bargaining, prosecutors have ripped that heart right out of that system and made sure that ordinary citizens have almost nothing to do with the administration of criminal justice in America. That is why we all feel that bitter taste in our mouth each time we look at Watts' case. I think that it is up to you, United States citizens, to make a change in the justice system, because right now the justice is hijacked. That is all.
Wow, that was very, very interesting. Thank you so much, Don, for giving us so much insight. Wow.
Yes.
I hope that will help other future presentation.
Oh, definitely.
I have more material gathered, but I decided to make it short.
That was very, very good. Thank you so much. I have to rewatch that again. Also, I loved your little chart. Makes me understand so much better.
That was a whole day job.
You did a
I
great
thought
job.
I would think so.
I mean, I
Yeah.
gathered material for a week, and then in one day I condense it in a diagram.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be
it's
right back. Just excuse me, please.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely so much information, and for people to understand why the justice system is what it is or how it is. It's was a very good explanation. Thank you so much.
And this can happen to any American citizen.
Oh yeah.
They should be concerned.
uh, you know, you just need to be at the wrong place at the wrong time,
Exactly.
and this is what I would be scared of living
Sadly,
there.
you had a taste of their justice.
Yeah. Oh wow. Crazy. Well, what Don and I had planned for the future is it's just in review from YouTube, but we are going to offer advice on data protection, and all this kind of stuff once a week, starting very, very soon. Don, if you would just want to explain what you're going to present on my channel once a week. Don, you're muted.
Yes. So, as Tanya said, I have observed that some subscribers are asking many interesting questions in chat that concern several aspects of the forensic investigation domain. I know that is very difficult to answer to all those questions because the chat is quite active at times, and the questions succeed in a very rapid manner. So, since my second part-time job is directly related to their area of interest, I have asked you if you are willing to host weekly live stream for members where I could explain some aspects of my work. And
Yes.
the topic, I mean the list, which is not definitely cut, is as follows. Questions about digital forensics, meaning audio, video, photo, phones, and computers. I will answer to internet security and privacy questions. I will tell you about home security, about your personal security when traveling, for instance, when going to a hotel. The moment you are entering in a room that you don't know, you could be spied, and so on. I will talk about the criminal psychology, the interrogation techniques, about manipulation and how to defend yourself against this problem. I know about some techniques used by secret services, and I know about crime reconstructions.
As we all saw in the little 3D reconstruction you put up as a surprise.
Yeah.
Not finished yet, but it will be great. Thank you, Matt.
Just a short note. I have two jobs. I mean, one full-time and one part-time. It's only that I don't have enough time to do more for you, but I will do my best to answer to your questions. But side note, I will not be able to answer to topics that concern state security or might be used to harm other people or other interests. The
Oh
main
yeah, definitely
focus
not.
the main focus is to help you understand how things work and how to protect yourself from present dangers.
And before you put it out there, you teach me all about it first.
For free.
Yeah, it's not only that. Don will also answer questions about, internet security as well, I guess. Right, Don?
Sure, at one time, maybe I will show you my desktop to show you exactly what is on my laptop.
Ah, that would be awesome. Thank you, Ocean
I,
Spot.
wa- I was sure.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And I feel honored that you want to do this. And also, thank you so much. I mean, there's great interest in all you do and all you present. And, you're the expert. I'm no expert. I always go ask you for advice if it comes to stuff like that. And yeah, if I'm getting overexcited, Dawn does put us in our lane, right, Dave?
Yeah, well, he does it in no uncertain terms because he has his English is very good when it comes to talking to us. I can assure you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, one note, Tanya knows. If I'm sometimes if I have spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes, that should not be taken as lack of knowledge in general.
Oh, I get to hear that all the time. Like, I can't listen to her. Well, then don't listen. I'm not, a Native American. So
No,
I hope you guys understand
if I'm
what
not
the
100%
gibberish.
proficient, sorry.
No, I don't, it's just not your native language. Neither is it mine. But I think I do understand you very well. And I do think our members and subs and people watching do too. So don't ever worry about this.
If I'm not 100% proficient in English, that doesn't mean that my knowledge has flaws.
Right. Dave, what's wrong?
I think I'm just looking at chat. There's nothing
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
I'm in a good place. I will actually say that now that we've you showed that wonderful thing about the cooler. Uh,
Yeah.
I think I might go live after this, just for the hell of it.
Okay.
So, and just talk a bit more about the case itself and ask a few more questions. And these two people here with me right now on Tanya's channel, everybody, are definitely the brainiacs. With the intelligence they both bring, it's incredible. But times both of them will ask, Dave, when did this occur or that occur? When did this occur? What was said? They'll come to me because I can instantly give them an answer. And purely because of my way I am with numbers and dates. So I find it between the three of us, we all have our little, we have our specialties in what we're actually good at. But one thing we do have here on this team is a true expert, and that is Don Joe.
Yeah.
And he is the one, everybody, that we turn to for our answers that we need answering. And he is the best addition that we actually have privately, away from YouTube, everybody, to this actual team. And Don, you are a credit to yourself and to everybody in the true crime community, what expertise you can bring to the table with this case and other cases going forward. So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
I cannot even add anything to that. Thank you so much, Dave. And thank you, Don, for being here. And being part of the team, of course.
Because that's what we are. And we back each other 100%.
Yes, definitely. All right. When this is gonna start, I don't know. I'm waiting for confirmation of YouTube right now because I want to install a different tier simply just because, or simply for Dawn. So people have the choice to join or not to join when he does his presentations. Yeah, I think we did good. Was very nice chatting with you guys. Was very, very good chat. Thank you to my moderators to keep it all nice, clean, quiet, and good in chat. And yeah, if there are not any more questions, because Dave wants to go live right after this, so I wouldn't steal any more of your time, then I hope you guys enjoyed and you liked it. The discovery of that cooler was what I was thinking a good big thing. And that kind of proves that he did not lie with everything. And some stuff Chris is saying is true. And yeah, I think it comes all together now, right? As we go along in the discovery, we find new things. That's why Dave and I always put up these interviews to refresh your memories. Sometimes it's, every time you listen to it, you hear something new, something different, and maybe you also listen with a pair of new ears after what you have been learning on our channels for the last months. And yeah, I would say let's meet over at Dave's channel in a bit. I'm not tired at all, even though I only slept 108 minutes, according to my phone, to my watch. And I do believe in Apple. Yeah, but other than that, the documentary will be coming out either next week, Saturday or Sunday. It depends on how fast Mark Boyce is, because he's doing the voiceover this time. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Big kiss to you. And yeah, I will let you know definitely as soon as I know how far we come. And yeah, I would say I put it up on Friday and then you guys see if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. I'm off for the week. What else was there? Oh yeah, Dawn was suggesting a real interrogation with a pit bull investigator. I'm going to be uploading as a premiere so we can all chat while I work on the documentary. It's gonna be the Russell Williams interrogation. You know, that guy who killed his neighbor, or I do even, if you know that, Don, didn't he kill more than one woman?
Yes.
Yes, he was convicted for 2 murders, known, but for 80 or 84 break-ins. He was a sexual predator.
Right. And this interrogator, I mean, he is teaching CBI, FBI, secret services all over the world how to perform an actual interrogation with success. And if I do remember right, he also wrote a book. And yeah, he will just show you how it's done, and I'm looking
It
forward to this.
it would be nice to comment on it.
Just call me Russ. Colonel
Yes.
Russell Williams, everybody.
Right. Just call me
Untouchable.
Rusty said. Yeah.
Basically untouchable. He
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Basically
I mean,
untouchable by regular law enforcement.
oh yeah,
And
definitely. He was a
what this
suspect for a
gentleman
long time.
what this gentleman did was unbelievable. And he does use the read technique, and Tammy Lee could definitely learn from the way this interrogation went down.
She learned from this interrogator? I doubt that.
No, she should have.
Oh, she should have. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, is what I'm saying.
Don, what do you mean? It would be nice to comment.
Yes, instead of just presenting it, it would be nice from time to time to stop it and to comment on it.
Okay. Yeah, so I can do a live stream on that. It's a
Yes.
long interrogation, though. I think it's 2 or 3 parts, right? I will be definitely
It's
doing one
yes,
part.
it's about 2 hours and something, but we don't need to listen to all of it. There are some key aspects.
Yeah. Well, definitely for you guys to see how a real interrogation is done. And then it will probably open your eyes on what a shitty job CBI did with that case. Yeah, Russell Williams it is. Colonel Russell Williams.
Colonel Russell Williams.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, if there are not any more questions, I'm curious to what Dave is going to do in his live stream right after me. So, oh, I did forget to turn my camera on so you guys see me. All right, I'll let you know everything definitely as we go along. New year, new chances, start over, right?
Yep, and the New Year clean out has begun over on my channel, and it will continue. And we're going to have absolutely no stress, no drama, no nothing.
No.
I do not. I do not wish to answer anybody in respect to what I presented yesterday, and I won't be going on about it anymore in regards to talking about
it now.
It's over and done with. I just want everybody to know. And I won't be commenting on other creators unless it's these two wonderful people right here. And from time to time, our wonderful friend, Kim at Unjustified.
Yes. And I want to say, Kimberly, get well soon. And I really hope to join you someday on your panel because I think you're absolutely brilliant and great with everything you do. And thank you so much for letting me use all your content. It really helps me a lot. I'm calling you, as you know, the mama of the Watts case because I was glued to your channel back then when it all broke out. So get well soon, and thank you so much for everything you do. You're really, really much appreciated.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And yeah, so I'm gonna get a drink, Dr. Pepper or something, and go over to Dave's channel. Hope to see all 500 of you over at Dave's. And yeah, like I said, I'm working my way through the emails. So please bear with me, guys. I'm so sorry I did not, reply on time. Sometimes it's just hard, the amount of messages, but I just want you to know every single one of you is highly appreciated, and I love you all. Alrighty, see you guys soon. Love ya. Stay safe and out of drama. Bye-bye. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.